Sleepy Joe Biden was in Nantucket, Massachusetts the other day, over the weekend, I guess. And I don't know if he said any verbal words out loud, but this is from the mainstream media YouTube channel, one of the YouTube channels, Today. Sleepy Joe condemns Trump's dinner with Ye, better known as Kanye West. I prefer to say Kanye. I know it's his slave name, but be glad that your ancestors were slaves. Let me drag this screenshot into the folder, Hassan. It's going to take me a minute or so, but I will share it with you guys. A written statement that, what is this? It just says screenshot, Hassan. I just put it into the folder. NBC News posts this from Andrew Bates, Deputy White House Press Secretary. Bigotry, hate, and anti-Semitism have absolutely no place in America. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America, Hake says. Including at Mar-A-Lago, a private property. Holocaust denial is repugnant and dangerous, and it must be forcefully condemned. So reads this statement, official statement from the White House, the Biden White House. Sleepy Joe, black on the inside White House. Full of hatred for the whites, for the Christians, for the children, for the men. Pretending to be friends to the women and Jewish people and Jews and gays and blacks. But they're not. They're no friend to anyone. They're fiends, the Sleepy Joe Biden White House. But this is condemnation of our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. Because Donald J. Trump went viral, and so did Kanye again, Kanye West, for meeting together. Kanye West and Sleepy Joe Biden met together. Isn't that nice? What in the world? I can't pull up my Truth Social. I can pull up Truth Social, but I can't pull up my Truth Social profile. Here's what Donald Trump, our greatest president, said. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was asking me for advice concerning some of his difficulties, in particular having to do with his business. We also discussed, to a lesser extent, politics, where I told him he should definitely not run for president. Any voters you may have should vote for Trump. Anyway, we got along great, writes our greatest president, real Donald Trump, on Truth Social. That's his social media outlet. Since he was banned on Twitter, he hasn't come back. He expressed no anti-Semitism, and I appreciated all of the nice things he said about me on Tucker Carlson. Why wouldn't I agree to meet? Also, I didn't know Nick Fuentes, says our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. He also wrote that was 2 days ago, purportedly. A day ago, he purportedly wrote on Truth Social, I'm reading it on Truth Social, so I help a seriously troubled man who just happens to be black, yay, Kanye West, who has been decimated in his business and virtually everything else, and who has always been good to me by allowing his request for a meeting at Mar-A-Lago alone so that I can give him very much needed advice, he puts in quotes. He shows up with 3 people, 2 of which, I spit a little bit, sorry, JLP. 2 of which I didn't know. The other a political person who I haven't seen in years. I told him don't run for office, a total waste of time, can't win. Fake news went crazy. So that's the word from our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. John Frederick says Trump's Truth Social posts are hilarious about this interaction. Was that the only, I'm asking you guys, was that the only posts that he posted on Truth Social. Truths that he truthed on Truth Social. You truth on Truth Social. You tweet on Twitter. Will Trump go back to tweeting? I think he will eventually, because he is running for office. Very high energy, by the way. So everybody's going crazy because Kanye West was seen walking at the airport or somewhere with the owner of Cozy.tv, Nick J. Fuentes, who put together that AFPAC, America First Political Action Conference. Talented young man. I believe he was one of the people who went to Charlottesville. You know, the whites protesting against the tearing down of our historical, excellent monuments. Beautiful Robert E. Lee, General Lee. The beautiful Confederate flags being torn down early on in the Trump administration. I believe he was there. Young man. I think he was in college at that point. And so he went, he's a big fan of Kanye West, Nick Fuentes fellow. Some might call him my competitor, but he's not on at the same time as me. That's cool. He met with, hung out with Kanye West. Kanye West has been talking out there, getting banned from places because he's been saying, he's been getting into saying, oh, I'm Jewish. I'm like, you know, the black Hebrew Israelite type of thing. He says that he's Jewish. He says that black people are Jews as well. So he can't be anti-Semitic, he claims. No such thing as anti-Semitism. But he said, oh, you know what, I've been shysted. He didn't use the word shysted. By so many Jewish businessmen in my rapping career and stuff like that. Or I've seen it happen so much. So I'm calling these people out. They've gotten away with it so long that they're used to getting away with it, and then they recoil when they're criticized, says Kanye West. And some say, oh, he's crazy. But when I listen to him, he's mostly being kind of reasonable. Yeah, he is an ego like all of us. Or the ego has him like all of us. But, and he's been losing, Adidas cut him off. He couldn't even use his Apple Pay. He went from being a something billionaire to not being able to use his Apple Pay because I guess Adidas or somebody, according to him, I saw some clip of him saying this, worked with Chase Bank to freeze his Chase Bank account or something like that. And so his Apple Pay, you know, when you use your iPhone, if you're one of those people who uses the iPhone, shame on you. And he couldn't use his Apple Pay to pay for something simple like, I don't know, buying a coffee or whatever Kanye was trying to buy with Apple Pay, according to him. Getting torn down. Wouldn't any of us love to have that kind of power? Let me put my arm down. I think I saw sweat under the little pits. Wouldn't any of us, evil people, love to have that power to shut down criticism and unfair attacks, verbal attacks on us personally when we personally get offended or get offended on behalf of somebody else? Oh, you're insulting the whites. Let's tear him down. Oh, you're insulting the Christians. Let's take them down. Oh, you're insulting the Jews. Except that apparently they and their compatriots actually have the power to shut the people down. Dang. But Trump met with him anyway. That's loyalty. Isn't that nice? And he didn't know that he didn't know Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is also much maligned for his harsh criticisms of the Jewish people. And he also says stuff that he doesn't necessarily know if it's true or false. You know, this stuff about, he read a super chat joke about cookies and the Holocaust one time. people found it in poor taste. He's all, I don't know, but I read this stuff. It just seems fishy to me, that's what he said. And Zoomers question everything. There are people who don't even know if the earth is round or flat. To me, it's so obviously round. I'm a ball-tard till I die. Anyway, that's the story, and Sleepy Joe is condemning it. Put up that quote again. Look at this quote. It's shameful. These self-righteous people. Bigotry, hate, and anti-Semitism have absolutely no place in America. That statement is bigoted, because the official definition before the dictionary, which is fake news, changed it. Bigotry means you can't deal with other people's opinions. Hate, that's what you guys have. Anti-Semitism, you're making people hate the Jews more by shutting down criticism of them. You know? Hat tip to Big Bear who said that. Owen Benjamin. Including Mar-A-Lago. You can't have your own free speech and free thought at a private property called Mar-A-Lago, Trump's home? What? Holocaust denial is repugnant and dangerous, and it must be forcefully condemned. Well, you're repugnant and dangerous, and you must be forcefully condemned. Andrew Bates, Deputy White House Press Secretary. What an outrageous statement. People should be up in arms about that statement, not a little free speech. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And if I love anybody, I love the Jews. Kanye claims he does too. I don't know about Nick Fuentes. I think he loves them too. Not sure. He is a Christian, so he must. Catholic. But it still counts because he's the Christian type of Catholic. Meaning he's not a dumb liberal. Okay, guys, thank you for bearing with me through that. I just had to get that off my chest. Have more stuff to cover, Christmas movies, some fun things. Gonna read super chats, but I am due for a call. It is 9:41 a.m. here in Los Angeles. 888-775-3773. Why is Holocaust denial dangerous? Asks Kevin Howe. Yeah, good question. People just gonna start supporting genocide all of a sudden? Yeah, I mean, it's just they don't realize that anger is what causes murder, not beliefs. Yeah, beliefs are, you want to be careful what you believe, but the anger is what causes the evil. You know?